Hello everyone, thanks for tuning into today's second video. We're going to have a look at weather for the next 10 to 14 days for today's second video. Day 10 will take us to the 12th of January, and we'll be able to extend out beyond that with the extended GFS and ECM ensembles. They run to around a couple of weeks. We'll have a look at CFS V2 at the end of the video for the next 4 weeks. Gets us pretty much to the end of January. And I shall get on that for you in a moment. Just to say about first, but it saves our 6 UK weather forecast. Got Snow Watch coming up for you this evening. Now, for some of us, that's going to be Snow Watch. For some of us, that'll be Cold Rain Watch. But anyway, Snow Watch is on the way this evening, and that'll probably be released around 7ish, I would have thought. So please like, share, and subscribe on all today's videos and content. Thank you so much, everyone, for doing that. Hope you had a lovely New Year's Day yesterday. New Year's Day roundup was fun, wasn't it? Right, let's start off centering the temperature events. We've got CT in for the first day of the month. It's come out at 8.3, that is 4.4 degrees above 1990 average, very mild opening day to January, and that is provisional just for the first. That's going to tumble away over the next week or so, and I would imagine by this time next week that's probably going to be back close to average, if not even a little bit below. And this is the reason why, because of the GFS upper air temperature and precipitation ensembles the next couple of weeks. We're at Sheffield today. The red line is the 30-year upper air temperature average for Sheffield. So we're starting off colder than average with the upper air temperature. They're going to lift up, though, as we move into the weekend. Well, for the south, they're going to lift up, not necessarily so in the north. Sheffield, northern England, of course, and even there, the upper air temperatures are lifting. But after that, we see the upper air temperatures coming back down again, and it looks as very much next week is shaping up to be quite cold. Middle part of January, probably seeing things getting milder, or certainly less cold. Of course, that's a long way off and is therefore unreliable. Precipitation-wise, going to be relatively dry for the next couple of days. But over the weekend and into start next week, got heavy rain and also heavy snow moving up from the south. And that's the reason we're doing Snow Watch later. And then after that, looking rather showery through the second week and up to the middle part of January. Snow Road for Sheffield, looking like that. Sorry everyone, so plenty of snow spikes coming up Saturday into Sunday, and there may be some more through this period. Just here, it looks as though after the 12th of January, we generally lose the snow probabilities or possibilities, probably as it turns milder. Birmingham looks like that, so there's going to be a brief spell of snow at Birmingham, but it will turn back to rain there. Possibly more snow coming through next week, though, maybe. And if we go down to London, well, there, the snow prospects at the weekend don't look great at all. Just a little snow spike. Might be a couple of minutes of snow, but it'll very quickly go back to rain in London. But next week could have some slightly better snow prospects. We'll have to see about that. As a Snow Watch on the way tonight. Temperature, no, where are we going? Okay, so what's happened there? Hang on. There we go. Temperature anomalies from the 2nd to the 10th of January. Coming out colder than average for UK island, most of northern, Scandinavian, Nordic regions anyway. Down to France and low countries, Germany, it's milder better. Just in this far north and northwestern corner, but it looks colder. And precipitation anomalies from the 2nd to the 10th of January. Wetter than average in the south, but a little bit drier than average through western and southern parts of Scotland. Latest weather map from earthnorschool.net shows that we changed the wind direction, did that yesterday, into a northwesterly to northerly. The air, therefore, is a lot colder. It's originating from quite a long way north up towards Iceland and whatnot up here. Okay, let's start going through chart data then. So here we go, that area of low pressure with the UK Met Euro run for midnight on Sunday, moving up from the southwest, bringing snow initially, but turning back to rain in the south, probably staying as snow on the northern side of below. Below's getting a long way north. The ECM, have this right everyone, the ECM operational computer model, not the AI. The AI has shifted. You'll see that in a moment. It's the ECM computer model that had this right, bringing this low this far north. So by midnight, so through Sunday to midnight Monday, the snow risk is really just the far north of England and up into Scotland. Elsewhere, heavy cold rain. That gets out of the way, and then we ship a wind back round to the north by Tuesday. And then we keep those winds in from the north through the remainder of next week. So next week will be cold after that milder interruption on Saturday night and through Sunday into early Monday. Icon, again, bring that low pressure up from the south. Look how far north Icon gets that low now, right up to northern England. It's only on the northern side of the low, but it can snow. That's really for the far north of England up into Scotland, although it will snow temporarily further south, but it'll turn back to rain. So you'll need to get, if you're in somewhere like Birmingham, you want to make a snowman, you'll probably need to get up about 2 o'clock in the morning on Sunday and make your snowman, because by 6 o'clock, by breakfast time, it'll be back to rain and it'll all have melted, I think. I think that's the plan. Anyway, by Tuesday, we're back into those cold northerly winds again with Icon. Cold and wintry then through most of next week. As we said, if high pressure through the middle of the week, there's likely to be some harsh overnight frost. Now we want to go there. Right, okay. I'm a little bit at odds and ends today. Got to get back into the routine after doing something yesterday a bit different with the Sunday roundup or the New Year's Day roundup. Right, so we're on to the KMA next. That's right. Okay, so low pressure coming back up from the. Just take one day off, and you start to lose it. Right, so low pressure coming up from the southwest on Saturday night. Now, the KMA is a little bit further south with that area of low pressure. That keeps northern England potentially with the snow, Northern Ireland, Scotland, but further south it's just cold rain. We're back into those northerly winds by the beginning of next week, but most of next week shaping up to be quite cold, actually, with high pressure either to the west or over the country. Once high pressure topples down over the country, it will bring hard overnight frost. But by the southwest, is beginning to return by the 10th of January to the northwest. Remember, high pressure hangs on, so for the south, it never turns milder. KMA keeps it cold right way up to the 14th of January in the south. For the north, it maybe turns a little bit milder with both southwest is. That's not that far away from being a Scandinavian high and bring the wind in from the east as well, by the way. So, cold first after January with KMA there. Not all that much snow, but certainly cold from a frost point of view. Then at the GFS midnight run. Again, GFS was one of those models that tends to have the low pressure for the samples. Now that's bringing the low pressure right the way through the centre of the country. So, like southern England, East Anglia, the Midlands, South East, you do get a little bit of snow overnight from Saturday to Sunday, but basically it's rain there. Snow for North Wales, potentially, Northern England and southern Scotland on the northern side of that low. Why don't these lows ever track through the channel? That's what I don't know. All the time these lows come northwards now. They never track through like the channel and be channel lows. Jimmy, or not at this time of year. We get plenty of channel lows, but not at a time of year that it can actually produce like snow to lowland southern England. Anyway, I'm off on a tangent, so sorry about that. Well, the low gets out of the way Monday to Tuesday. We're back into those cold northeasterly winds then. And then next week shaping up to be cold and wintry, really, with high pressure over and to the north of the country. That's day 9, for example, still with a blocking area, high pressure to the north, still bringing the wind in from the east, so still looking cold and wintry then. High pressure gradually extended, starting to slip south eastwards, though milder or less cold air beginning to come in around the top of the high to the north and west, but the south probably still cold and frosty. And that's a setup of the end of the GFS midnight run under an area of high pressure. I'm not sure it ever turn particularly milder down the south. The north is a little bit milder there. Right, the GFS 6 said, in comparison, again, bringing that low through the central swathe of the country over the weekend. Rain in the south, snow in the north. Through next week, we pull wind back round into a cold north or northeasterly wind. So most of next week shaping up to be cold and wintry. And a bit of a hint of a Scandinavian high on the GFS 6 by day 9, building up high pressure to northern Scotland and into southern parts of Norway and Sweden, switching the wind around to an easterly. Yeah, we've got quite an extensive cold pool sitting to our east. We do bring that in a little bit actually around day 10. That's the 12th of January with those east-northeast winds. But by 10 cells iceberg coming in there to the south east. That's not a beach to the east, but it probably will drag in snow showers to southern and eastern parts of the coast. And the easterly wind then is setting in more extended range as well. And then eventually the GFS 6 takes the high pressure back towards Greenland and Iceland and back into colder northerly winds. We go. So GFS 6 there, keeping it cold or turning it cold again, even into the second half of January there. Quite an interesting GFS 6 there from a cold perspective, despite the disappointment that I know a lot of you will be, feeling over the snow event this weekend that's going down the tubes for the south anyway. But overall, a cold and wintry GFS 6 there, more or less from beginning to end. Now, if you enjoyed the video, please do like, share and subscribe. Make sure to everyone for doing that. Drop a comment, let us know what you think about this and all of our videos and content. And don't forget to tell your friends about GavsWeatherVids, get them to subscribe to. Show everyone for doing that. We need to put on around 7 subscribers to get ourselves to 19.3k. So if you could give us a sub, that'd be absolutely awesome. Thank you so much, everyone. Right, GM, again, bring back low pressure up from southwest approaches on Sunday. Moves it out to the east from Monday and Tuesday, so back into those cold northerly winds we go. Next week, then it stays cold throughout next week, really, and as we get a Scandinavian high together there by the end of next week, but the high sort of slips away to the east, and we start to bring up something milder from the south and the west by about day 9 and 10. And then the ECM, it looks like that. So once more, the low pressure coming up from the southwest Saturday into Sunday, moving out into the North Sea Sunday to Monday. We go back into those cold northerly winds. So next week shaping up to be quite cold and wintry. More low pressure piling in from the Atlantic by the end of next week, trying to turn things milder. And eventually by day 10, we start to draw in a milder southwesterly southerly wind. But ECM was right all along with that area of low pressure at the weekend, how far north it was moving it. When all of the other models had that low to the south, the ECM stuck to its guns. So hats off to the ECM and never bet against the mighty ECM. And that includes the ECM AI model, which you'll remember also had that low to the south. But now, check this out, very much correcting that low pressure northwards with the AI ECM. So it's in line, with all of the other model output. That was the AI ECM that shifted. Please keep that in mind for the future, everyone. In this scenario, not necessarily saying that it will happen all the time, but in this scenario, it was the ECM artificial intelligence model that was wrong with the placement of this low, and it is the ECM artificial intelligence model that has moved, not the computer model. Anyway, that low pressure then gets out of the way, and we go back into those cold northerly winds again through next week. Next week shapes up to be cold and wintry, pretty much up to day 10. That's the 12th of January, by which time low pressure is threatening to bring some milder air in from off the Atlantic, and a bit of a hint of a Scandinavian high as well there to day 10. And we see that across a few models, so we can't necessarily rule out prospects of a Scandinavian high developing through the second week of January. This is a precipitation forecast based on that ECM computer model, not the AI model that we were looking at a moment ago. So a lot of dry weather with snow showers in the prone areas, and then into the weekend we'll be seeing Saturday into Sunday heavy snow coming up from the southwest. So you see it's rain all the way along in the southern and southwestern areas, but there's a period of heavy snow through a large portion of Wales, the Midlands, into eastern England up to northern England, Northern Ireland as well. By 6 a.m. on Sunday morning, the snow is turning back to rain through Wales and the Midlands, still snowing heavily through northern and eastern parts of England, up to southern Scotland and Northern Ireland. And then the snow is really for Northern Ireland, the far north of Northern England, and up into southern Scotland through Sunday, with lots and lots of cold rain for the bulk of England and Wales. Eventually all of that gets out of the way. By Monday we're back into those snow showers once again. And then another period of snow possible about the 10th of January coming up from the southwest. That might have slightly better prospects further south, but of course it's a long way off. And that's how it looks as we get to the end then of the ECM run, or up to day 10 anyway. These are the options on the table within the ECM ensembles today for day 10 from the Icelandic Met's office. Gets us to the 12th of January. 22 members of the ECM ensemble centering high pressure between Iceland and Norway, but a ridge also through the UK and Ireland. We're just about pulling in a cold northeast wind there. 15 though, looking better. That looks like a proper Scandinavian high there. With potentially a proper easterly flow. And then 14, just here with high pressure more towards Iceland and Greenland. All those options look cold, though, I have to say. So, I mean, the snow event at the weekend is turning into a letdown for the south, not for the north. And hello to all of you in the north. I know sometimes you feel like you're a little bit forgotten about, and you are going to get a snow event, you know, this weekend, a big one. Whereas further south, there will be some snow return back train. I know that's a disappointment for a lot of people in the south, but overall, this is looking cold for the next, at least the next week, probably the next 10 days, really. And then in 2 weeks' time, these are the options that we've got. It gets us to the 17th of January. 15 members of the ECM ensemble, still with high pressure somewhere towards the east and northeast. Perhaps bring a wind more a southeasterly, but could still be quite cold, especially for the south. 13 with high pressure right over top of the country. That says frost and fog to me. And then 12 with high pressure more to the north. That's bring the wind in from the east. So that option looks cold there. And then we've got a much milder option down here, 11 with high pressure to the south, the east, low pressure out to the west. And that will bring the wind up from a milder southwesterly direction. So even out 2 weeks out into the second half of January, remember we're expecting the second half of January to turn milder on a lot of the long range forecasts. That's what Terry is forecasting, for example. We're expecting the second half of January to turn milder, but there is, you know, quite a strong hint here that even into the second half of January, we could keep things cold. Finally, well, not quite finally, actually, we're going to have a look at the strat before we go. But CFSB V2 beats a 500 millibar height to noise, breaking down to week periods. The first week period takes from the 2nd to the 8th of January. The next week looks calm. Low pressure to the north and the east, high pressure to the north and the west. And we bring down this cold northerly wind. Week 2 is going to be the 9th, 15th of January, high pressure between Iceland and Norway, and that should bring the wind in from a cold easterly direction. Week 3 looks like that. It's the 16th to 22nd of January, turning milder, with winds backing into more of a westerly, but still quite a strong blocking signal up towards Greenland. So that might be a bit transitional, starting cold and then maybe turning a bit milder. Of course, that could involve transitional snow. And then finally, week 4 looked definitively milder. This would be 23rd, 29th of January, with low pressure part to the west. Looks mild and wet as we come to the end of January. We'll see about that. Finally, just have a quick look at the strat. Haven't looked at that for a day or two. We're going to be doing the next Strat Watch, which I think is episode 5. Anyway, next episode of Strat Watch coming up tomorrow, hopefully. So, this is the latest GFS Stratospheric forecast. Cold, blue colours here, the cold temps at 10 HPA in the stratosphere over the Arctic and over North Pole. We're going to get significant warming of the stratosphere next week over Siberia. See these orange colours just here. And as we move into the more extended range, so that first warming eased off, but then another really quite major warming by 15th of January developing over Siberia. That one actually moving in toward the pole. So this looks like a displacement event of the polar vortex, and that would possibly, I don't know, it could possibly be enough to reverse the zone of wind, actually. That could be a technical SSW that the GFS is forecasting there in a very extended range. Touch and go, that would be quite enough to reverse the zone of wind, but it certainly is a major warming and, significant warming and moving into a pole. Displacement event, not splitting the PV, displaced up to the 18th of January into Northern Europe and into the North Atlantic, where we will go beyond that. and whether we will get an actual technical SSW with a reversal of zone winds at 10 HPA 60 degrees north with a split of the polar vortex remains to be seen, but that looks quite significant, and we will be doing Strat Watch, as I say, for you tomorrow. That's just one GFS run, remember though. Right, we're done. If you've enjoyed the video, please do like, share, and subscribe. Thanks so much, everyone, for doing that. Why not drop a comment? Let us know think about this and all of our videos and content. Don't forget to tell your friends about GavsWeatherVids, get them to subscribe too. Thanks so much, everyone, for doing that. So we've got Snow Watch coming up for you this evening. Tomorrow, at 6 AM UK weather forecast, Strat Watch, Jamie Friday, and a 10 to 14 down. Not sure if we're doing a pub run live tomorrow because I've got a live stream for channel members tomorrow evening. So 2 live streams in night, that's quite a lot. I may not do pub run live this week, but I shall let everybody know anyway on the socials and whatnot tomorrow. Well, you enjoy the rest of your Thursday. Don't forget to come back later for Strat Watch. But for this one, that's all for now. And thanks for watching.